So I'm Dane Ralston and I am the founder and CEO, I guess, of IOpt. And IOpt is an IoT solutions provider who basically give landlords a much better idea of how their buildings are performing, how they're being used and how they're being maintained. We thought it was a really good idea to come to the Social Housing Strategy Forum simply because it was far more intimate and getting to meet people properly rather than going to one of the big events where you're just walking around and nearly hoping to bump into people by chance. We knew that we were going to get to talk to people properly directly. It might not be for a particularly long time, but it opens you up to having a more personal relationship with them. Yeah, no, they've gone really well. In the short sort of 15-minute meetings, you can get an awful lot of talking done. And because it's not a massive event, you actually get to pretty much meet everybody at some stage or another. And because it is a bit more intimate, I guess, everybody feels like I could just phone up the CEO of X, Y, and Z Housing Association now and just have a conversation with them. So, really good. Yes, the delegate insights have been really helpful. And it's interesting just to see how widely spread some of their interests are. It's not really always just very specifically about their job role. Quite often they're trying to learn out a bit more about other things. Yeah, I would say that pretty much 90% of the conversations that we're organised to have, we're probably going to follow up on. I think it is just that more intimate, more informal, less. One of the comments made yesterday by one of the delegates was that they didn't feel they were being sold at. They were just having a knowledge transfer kind of conversation all the time. We were learning just as much from them. So like the G12 in London is an area we have deliberately stayed away from. We haven't gone after them. We think for what we were a year ago, we were too small to deal with them. We feel it's really hard for them to change because they're so big. And so talking to people from there that we wouldn't have got access to before, we've learned a lot about that. I think it is just really getting to know people better that you wouldn't have a chance to meet. In the bigger events, so many people are trying to have a conversation with CEO X, Y, and Z or FD of whatever, that you just wouldn't get access to them. Particularly, I guess, if you're a bit smaller, it might be easier for some of the bigger organisations to open those doors. But it's just a far nicer atmosphere.